It's Saturday, 9:30 a.m. and we're back with another drop. If you're new here, my name is James. I run Kibble Watches here in Clerkenwell, London. And this week we've got 14 incredible watches landing on the website. And every single Saturday we put watches on the website 9:30 a.m. So be sure to tune in every single week. We've got a real mixed bag of stuff, as you can see, including a wonderful Rolex and a very cool Tudor, some Panerai, some micro brands, some British brands. There's really something for everyone, including a brand that I'd never heard of and a model I'd never seen, which I'm excited to get into. Now, if you do want to skip to a specific watch, let's say you're only here to see the fairer, you can do so via the description. Every single watch is listed down there with a timestamp, as well as a link to the website where you can head over, see the extra photos, all the details, make a purchase. And just like every single week, I do these pretty much off the cuff. Obviously, I have some basic details here. So always refer to the website. This is supposed to just be another thing to go along with the photos and the details that are there. Try and look at everything. And as always, as you would with anything, read everything, check everything. Any questions, please do ask. It saves any sort of hassle back and forth. So just ask the questions if you have them. All right, before we crack on with the watches on the table, what's on wrist? I'm wearing my gorgeous 1950s JW Benson triple calendar moon phase. And this is actually gold plated and it's held up incredibly well. The dial's got this almost like guilloche, I guess you'd say, dial, where the branding's all printed and it's got some patina to it. I love this watch. It came in off a very good collector and a good friend actually. And it was one he was wanting to sell with some other watches, and I just fell in love, and we came to a deal, and it's stayed in the collection since. It's powered by Venus 203, so quite an interesting movement as well. Yeah, it's just fun. I've never seen another one, so I'll be sure to keep this for as long as I can, so it's not for sale. But now that that is all out of the way, let's crack on with what you're actually here to see, and we're going to start with the incredible Rolex at the top, and this has to be one of my favorite Sea-Dwellers, especially if you are a fan of modern watches, but don't want the crazy large Sea-Dweller. This is the model for you. So here it is. This is the Rolex Sea-Dweller 4000 in 40mm. So as you can see from the dial, you're getting all of the modern benefits of the maxi dial. Big round lume plots, white gold surround, and obviously really strong lume in there. No date over the Cyclops, but a date over there. No Cyclops over the date, sorry, but a date over there at 3 o'clock. Nice bold hands and black ceramic bezel. As I say, the highlight for this watch is the fact it is only 40mm, which is a hell of a lot smaller than the modern versions today. As we take a look around the case, you can see a helium escape valve on the left-hand side and a signed big, large screw-down crown at 3 o'clock, protected by crown guards. Now, this case is either unpolished or has been polished once and very well, and we're leaving it that way. Of course, we can have it polished on request if you so wish. This is a reference 116600, and you can see it comes paired on its original bracelet, which has all the links included, as well as the dive extension, which has been taken off because it adds that extra length, but again, we can put it back on if you want. It's in the box, and you've got that really handy adjustable clasp where you pop down that link and then you slide it to where you want it to be and just fold it back up. Nice and simple. You can see a signed screw down case back right there, and that is housing the automatic Rolex caliber 3135, and this one's from May 2016 with its box and paperwork ready to go. And I think it's sort of, they're over £10,000 these, but I think value for money wise, especially the fact that this reference was made for such little time, I think it's incredible value for money. So here it is on my 7-inch wrist at 40mm by 46mm lug to lug. Only 14.5mm on the thickness, so it's obviously on the thicker side, but it's not sort of unwearable by any means, and only 20mm on the lug, so endless options for this one. I would highly recommend snapping this up if you're a fan of the 40mm sub but want a date with no Cyclops, or you want the Sea-Dweller with the extra sort of heft and sort of build quality that comes along with it. This is the one for you, so go check it out today. Next up on this back row is one I've been very excited to bring to the website. This is probably one of the best Tudor Prince date chronographs, pre-Tigers as it's called, that you are going to find. So let's take a closer look. As you can see, you've got that wonderful sort of jet black dial with that vibrant red on the chronograph seconds, Tudor applied logo at 3 o'clock with the Tudor Prince date stated there, date at 3 o'clock with a Cyclops. You've got your running seconds over at 9 o'clock and your chronograph counters at 12 and at 6 o'clock. White numerals around the outside with tritium lume plots as well as tritium hands, and these pre-Tigers have a polished bezel and polished lugs. You will find some of the Tiger models where you have the brushed tops of the lugs. These are polished, and this has to be one of the best examples I have personally handled. As we flip the case around, you can see the polished sides and the polished tops, leading to a signed Tudor screw down crown, as well as screw down pushers. So you have to ensure you unscrew them fully to be able to use it. So the top crown start, stop, and the bottom crown reset, but they have to be unscrewed fully to be able to operate. This is a reference 79280, and as you can see, it comes paired on its original oyster bracelet, which is all Tudor signed, and you have all the links as well. And then you can see the signed screw down case back. Now it has got an engraving around the outside. It says, "To Kenneth, love always, Catherine." We can have that removed on request. It would require the case back being polished, not just that one part. We'd have to probably do the whole thing to make it work, and we'll try to do lasering as well with our polishers, so do keep that in mind. That's something we can get a quote on. Being away inside this watch is the automatic Valjoux 7750, which is slightly modified by Tudor, but pretty much is the base of the mill, so really nice and easy for serviceability down the road. And this example is from February 1998, almost a birth year for me, 1997, but this is February 1998, so for anyone out there born in 1998, this is probably one of the best birth year watches you could find in terms of condition example. As I say, box and papers with this as well. Yeah, there's not really a huge amount more to say on this. Around £3,500, I think this is a hell of a lot of watch for the money, especially when you look at what the modern Tudor chronographs are trading for. I think this is far more interesting personally. So go check this one out on the website today. Okay, now on to some Panerais, and we've got 3 on the table. So we're going to start with this one, which is the biggest on the table, and this is the awesome Panerai Luminor 1950 left-handed 3 days in 47 mil. That is a long title, but what you've got right here, as you can see, is a left-handed Panerai. So the crown is actually on the left-hand side. This is based on a vintage model. Again, you can read more about that on our website, so do check that out. But you have your classic black, sort of matte black sandwich dial, so you have the luminous material underneath the dial, and then the dial has cutouts for the battens and the 12, 3, 6 and 9. Luminous sword hands as well. It's got a nice faux patina look to it, and they are done in gold. And then Luminor Panerai stated right there. Very simple two-hander design. You've got a nice polished case with brushing on the crown guards, which is over at the left hand side. For those of you that don't know, with the Luminor range, you pull that lever down to release the pressure on the crown, and that allows you to wind and set the watch. Pushing that lever back down, it pushes pressure back on the crown, making it again more watertight. As we flip this one around, you'll see a very large exhibition case back showing a very large movement, which is nice. It's always nice when the movement fills the case. What you're looking at right here is a manually wound Panerai caliber P3000, which is a fantastic movement. I believe a 3-day movement, but again, check the website for more details. And this is a reference PAM 00557. Comes paired on a very nice and comfortable brown Panerai strap, as you can see, which has got a bit of wear into it, but nothing too major, and it suits the watch perfectly. It's from January 2022 with its box and paperwork ready to go. And here's this large watch on my wrist. At the end of the day, it's a Panerai. It's meant to be big, but it is still surprisingly comfortable for such a big watch. At 47 mil by 56.5 mil lug to lug, it has to be one of the biggest watches I've had. 16 mil on the thickness and 26 mil on the lugs. So yeah, be sure to check this one out on the website. If you're a fan of Panerai, this is a really, really cool model to have and not something you see every day, so go check it out today. Okay, next up we have my favourite Panerai of the 3. This is the awesome, and I've had this reference before, a Panerai 1940 Radiomir 3 days 45 mil automatic in titanium. This is the PAM 00619. You've got a very attractive black matte sandwich dial, again with the luminescent material below. Sub-seconds over at 3 o'clock, and simple sword hands as well. It's very legible, a bit difficult to photograph just because of the shape of the crystal, but very legible in person and very, very comfortable as well. Not much more to say about the dial. They've kept it nice and simple. You have a polished bezel and then brushing along the case. Very attractive with a crown over at 3 o'clock based on the 1940 model. So no crown guards or system for this one. Much more simple, which again, I am personally a big fan of. As we flip it around, you can see that same matte finish across the case, and then the signed screw down crown at 3 o'clock. As we flip it over, this is where this watch becomes quite interesting, because you can see It is powered by a automatic Panerai caliber P4000, which is a micro rotor, and again I believe a 3-day movement. As I say, this is titanium, so it's incredibly light, and the tone of the material is obviously a lot darker. It comes paired on its original Panerai strap. There is a bit of red staining on the bottom of the strap. I believe it's from a cushion it's probably been sat on in its life that sort of rubbed off the ink. But again, it's no effect to the strap itself, it's just on the underside, thankfully. An original titanium Panerai buckle. This one is from also January 2022 with its box and paperwork, and again under £5 I think these are fantastic. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist at 45mm by 52mm lug to lug, 11.5mm on the thickness and 24mm on the lugs. My personal pick of the 3 on the table for the Panerais, and again I just think it's a very attractive Panerai, so be sure to check it out on the website today. Okay, and the final Panerai on the table, something with a bit of colour this time. This is the Panerai Luminor Blue Mare 44mm manually wound PAM 01085, and you can see here you've got that really nice classic Panerai dial. No sandwich dial on this one, so that loom is sat on the dial, which is very nice indeed, or sat into the dial itself. You've got the Luminor Panerai stated at 12 o'clock, simple sword hands and running seconds over at 9 o'clock. A very dynamic blue dial, so it sort of plays with the light. Some lights it's very dark, some lights it's very bright. It's very attractive in person. You can see you've got a polished bezel with polishing on the case, and then a matte finished crown guard system at 3 o'clock. Same as the other ones. This is, you have a little lever that you pull up, it releases tension on the crown, allows you to wind and set, and pushing that lever back down, it pushes tension again on the crown to keep it in place. Polishing along the sides, and that crown over at 3 o'clock, as I said, you've got screw bars for the links themselves, nice and easy. And as we flip it over, you'll see a spun signed case back. No exhibition case back on this one. Is powered by the manually wound Panerai caliber 6000. This one's from, it comes on its original blue Panerai strap with a signed buckle. No red on the underside of this one, and it does come with a couple of additional straps as well, so be sure to check out the photos in the description of that. This one's from January 2022 again with its box and paperwork ready to go. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist. I would say this and the 45mm are the most wearable of the two, but obviously I have a 7-inch wrist, so if you have bigger you might find the 47 to be very comfortable as well. This is 44mm by 54.5mm lug to lug, so longer on the lug to lug than the other model. 12.5mm on the thickness and 24mm on the lugs, and at just over £4,000. Again, great value for money if you like Panerai but you want something with a little pop of colour, so be sure to check this one out on the website today. And now on to the only true vintage watch on the table this week, but again I have some interesting vintage coming next week, so please keep an eye out for that. I'm doing my best to get them through as quick as possible and try not to keep them all. At the end of the day, I am a sucker for vintage watches. But what we've got right here is a incredible Eterna-Matic automatic, no date, with a very tropical dial. As you can see, it's got that sort of patina on it. It can happen from water damage or just exposure to the elements. It's hard to tell with this one because the movement is very, very good and clean. So it indicates to me it might just be exposure or slight moisture in the case over the years, but very, very cool indeed. You can see you've got the 12, 3, 6 and 9 in those triangle blocks with those batten indices with the triangles on the very end and obliques around the outside, which are just about visible. Eterna-Matic stated at 12 o'clock with Kentucky down at 6 o'clock with the 5 ball bearing system logo at 12 o'clock as well. Again, that patina, very, very interesting. It won't be for everyone, but again, this is what makes vintage watches so interesting to me personally, is how dynamic and interesting they can be. As we take a look around the case, it's a very strong, solid case. Right there with those beautiful twisted lugs and a signed crown at 3 o'clock. And this is actually comes paired on its original Gay Ferez bracelet, which is this sort of like beads of rice almost link bracelet, full size with the Gay Ferez logo on the clasp. Gay Ferez was a bracelet maker, very famous in its time and quite desirable still to today because they're just incredible bracelets. Turner sign on the clasp as well, as you'd expect. As we flip it over, you can see a screw down case back with the Kentucky boat emblem in gold, still just about visible. Obviously over time, because that medallion is actually gold, it rubs on the skin and wears down. I've seen this on the Longines Conquest and many other models that have these gold medallions, Mega Constellation, sorry, being another one. So yeah, this is actually pretty good compared to some of the ones I've seen, but of course it has worn down, and that is of note. This is a reference 130T. It dates to the circa early 1960s, and powering it is the automatic Eterna caliber 1412UD, which is fresh from a service with our watchmaker. So this is ready to go. Again, if you're in the market for a wonderful vintage Eterna Contiki, there isn't that many options out there, and this with the bracelet, especially in this condition, is definitely a must-have at around the £2.5 price point. I think is incredible. Here we go on my 7-inch wrist, 34mm by 41.5mm lug to lug. Only 11.5mm on the thickness and 18mm on the lugs. Obviously, it goes without saying this Gay Ferrez bracelet is quite worn and used over the years. It's still perfectly fine, but it has got some stretch and play. So you might want to swap it out onto a leather strap for other occasions or something like that. But go check this one out on the website today. And now we're going on to the Maen. I got told the other day it was Maen, but I don't think that's true. I think someone's playing with me because they know I butcher pronunciations. But this is the Maen Brooklyn 36mm triple calendar automatic, a real fantastic release from the brand, and one that kind of slipped past my radar. I don't know how I didn't notice it. But what you've got right here, as you can see on the dial, is this wonderful sort of panda style, I guess you'd say, with that matte black finish. With the textured subdials, and they've got a really subtle texture to them, which again I didn't notice on the stock images, but in person it's very striking. The white around the outside as well, with the lume dots in there, again with that similar texture. Date hidden away at 6 o'clock, just a wonderfully designed watch, to be honest. You have the date at 6 o'clock, as I say, you have the month at 3 o'clock, and the day of the week at 9 o'clock, so very nice and easy to set and use with a pusher for the month at 2 o'clock in the case. Talking about the case, you have this really nice brushed and polished finish throughout, with really strong chamfers. I think it's just a very well built watch. I think Maen are one of those brands that actually produce above their price range compared to some of the brands in this similar price range, so I would always recommend them. Sign crown at 3 o'clock, which is very nice as well, and it comes on this very attractive Jubilee bracelet with a push button folding open clasp. Sign screw down case back right there, and powering this watch is actually an automatic Miyota caliber 9122. This one is from circa 2023 with its box and paperwork ready to go, and under £500. This is just silly value for money in my opinion. 36mm by 46mm lug to lug, really great on the wrist here on my 7-inch wrist. 12.5mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs. So endless options for swapping this one out for some nice straps, and I think it'd look good on a variety, so go check it out on the website today. Okay, now on to a very interesting watch, unique design, something I'd never seen before. Limited edition as well, I think of 500 pieces if I remember correctly, and I'm going to butcher the pronunciation as always, so please forgive me. This is a Henrik Fisker and Rosendahl PCH automatic 44mm limited edition collaboration piece. Rosendahl, if I'm not mistaken, was quite a famous designer at the time, designed cars and different things, and there's a lot of inspiration that's gone into this watch. This one actually comes with its box and booklets and paperwork from 2006, and in that it has all the details about him as well, and again we've put that one on the website, so be sure to check that out. But in terms of the details, you can see Fisker automatic stated at 12 o'clock, Rosendahl stated at 6 o'clock, date at 3 o'clock, very nice simple hands with a vibrant red second hand, and PCH sort of written on the dial, sunken into the dial itself, with a raised outer ring with the indices on there in the minute track. You have a fixed steel bezel with 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then sort of like a hex key system in there, which is very cool as well to see. As we flip the case around, you can see the lugs just come straight off the case itself with the bracelet attached, so you wouldn't be able to fit any other strap on this watch really without heavy modification, but you've got this almost very round UFO style. It kind of looks like a Boulder Accutron from back in the day to me. Sign crown at 3 o'clock, and then we come on to the bracelet, which is this very interesting sort of brushed and polished link bracelet. Very, very unique design indeed. And when we get to showing it on wrist, it's amazing how good it actually looks on the wrist, because sort of seeing it off the wrist, it looks a bit odd, but it really works. The lug at 12 on the right hand side unfortunately had a repair at some point in its past, and it looks like it's just sort of been filled in and soldered shut. So likely a screw came out, and instead of just replacing the screw, some clever watchmaker in the past just filled it in. So that top bar is never coming out, unfortunately, but the bottom bar still does. But as I say, you can't really swap this anyway, so you will be limited to just the bracelet. And we have all spare links and everything like that as well. As we take a look at the case back, you can see an exhibition case back right there with a automatic ETA 2892 inside, and all the details there. This is a first production limited of 500 pieces, and a customized rotor right there as well. You can see designed by Henrik Fisker, by Rosendahl, Denmark. Actually, I think I got it the wrong way around. After all of that, I think, as no doubt a million comments have already said in the video, I believe Henrik Fisker is the designer, and the brand is actually Rosendahl. I could be wrong on that, it's still though, so do double check the website. Circa 2006, box and papers with this one, and here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 44mm by 44mm lug to lug, a nice round case, 13mm on the thickness and 21mm on those integrated lugs, tapering outwards and then down again towards the clasp. Very unique, as you can see on the wrist, and I actually really like it. I think it's very interesting. So go check this one out on the website today. Who knows when you'll ever see another one. I'd never seen one before up until this point after 10 years. So yeah, very cool. Next up, we have a titanium Certina. This is one of the modern releases. This is the Certina DS2 Turning Bezel Sea Turtle Conservancy Special Edition 41mm. So as I say, you've got a titanium case, black bezel, black dial, which is very nice and attractive, simple baton hands, and a very nice light blue turquoisey second hand, date over at 3 o'clock, applied indices with an outer minute track, and again that bezel was very nice. A cushioned turtle case shape, very reminiscent of some of the early Certinas of their past, which had this turtle case as well. Even had a turtle on the case back, interestingly enough. Brushing or matte finish along the side, sign crown which is screwed down at 3 o'clock, and it comes paired on its original Certina NATO strap, which again has titanium matching hardware. As we open this one up to remove the strap, you can see a automatic movement inside there, which is a Powermatic 80.6111, and you have the Sea Turtle Conservancy logo on the case back. You can read more about that on our website. This one's from April 2024 with its box and paperwork ready to go. And again, value for money on these I think is just fantastic if you're after that kind of design, which also has something a little bit interesting going along with it too. 41mm by 46mm lug to lug, and here's that on my 7-inch wrist. 11mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs. So be sure to go check this one out on the website today. Okay, now on to a Christopher Ward 12 in titanium. These are always fantastic, and this one's on the fitted rubber strap. So this is the Christopher Ward 12 titanium Aurora Green 40mm on the rubber. I won't bore you with the reference, you can go see that on the website as always, very long references. But you have that really nice vibrant green Aurora dial with the black around the outside, so it's like a vignette or vignette. I never know how you pronounce that word again. Another one I'm going to get butchered on. Really nice handset and nice indices throughout the dial, again adding to that sort of aggressive look whilst also still being quite unique with that cushion, not cushion, round integrated case to the strap. As we flip it around, you can see that bezel has so many facets to it, very cool indeed, and beveled polishing on there with the titanium. Sign crown, which is screwed down at 3 o'clock with those crown guards as well that are screwed into the case. And as we flip it over, exhibition case back right there, showcasing a automatic Sellita SW300-1, which is chronometer rated as well, which is always nice. And as I say, it comes on its quick release fitted rubber strap with matching titanium hardware. You can buy the straps and bracelets separately via the Christopher Ward website if you so wish as well. This one's only from July 2025, so it's fairly new. It has been worn, a couple of very minor hairline scratches here and there, but nothing major at all. Box and papers, as I said, and here it is on my 7-inch wrist at 40mm by 44mm lug to lug, only 9mm on the thickness total and 24mm on the integrated lugs right there. So yeah, fantastic pickup again for the money. You cannot go wrong with these. So go check it out on the website today. Next up, we have a fairer ponting, and not just the standard model, which I've had a few of over the years. We have the rare black model, which I've been very excited to bring to you guys. So this is the Black GMT limited edition. I believe of only 50 total, but please do double check the website for exact numbers, because they didn't actually sign these ones if I'm not mistaken. But you have a really nice matte black dial, blue on the hands with lume in the inside, red on the GMT, the inner GMT hand, and then a green tipped second hand as always. With Fair you can expect that extra pop of colour, and they've done so via the hands in this one, because the numerals around the outside all standard as you'd expect, and a date hidden away nicely at 3 o'clock, incorporated very nice with the GMT, as you can see as well. We then come on to the case itself. You've got this nice sort of polish and matte finish on the black coating, and then crown at 3 o'clock. As always, I find these fairers, and I've yet to come across one that hasn't got it, but they're all a little tight to wind and set. It's how every single one has been that I've ever had, so do just keep that in mind when using it. A little tight on the friction, but it's not a problem. As I say, they're all like that. You have no bronze inlay into the crown on this one, as you do with some of the others. And as we flip it over, you can see an exhibition case back right there with a customised rotor. This is actually an ETA caliber 2893-2, so a nice workhorse movement indeed. Just compared on its original worn fair strap, with one of the leather keepers getting a bit worn towards the clasp, the buckle itself, so do just keep that in mind as well. It's from December 2018 with its box and paperwork ready to go. And here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 39.5mm by 45mm lug to lug, really great proportions, 11mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lug, so endless options for swapping this one out. And again, for an all black watch, I think it looks fantastic, and also for the price, I think it's great value as well, so go check it out on the website today. Now for another black watch, this time an Aevig, and I believe this is one of the most affordable watches on the table today. So what you're looking at is a very cool Aevig Corvid automatic DLC in 40mm with that very interesting dial, which has got this sort of silver texture to it, very dynamic. In some lights it goes very dark, almost eggshell. In other lights it really pops and becomes quite white. You've got the Aevig logo over there at 12 o'clock, Corvid 2080M stated at 6 o'clock, with the outer minute track with that very vibrant orange lume, which is the same in the hands, which are also black as well. Very attractive case indeed. You have a matte finishing on the case overall, as you can see as we flip it around, and that is DLC coated, with a crown at 2 o'clock, which is screw down as well. As we flip it over, you can see a stainless steel screw down case back with a nice little decoration on there. Beating away inside this is actually an automatic STP caliber 1-11, and it comes paired on its very nice brown, quite thick leather strap with a signed matching buckle as well, as you'd expect. October 2018 with this one, with just its box. That's how they were shipped. They didn't really come with any paperwork. And here it is on my 7-inch wrist at 40mm by 47.5mm lug to lug, only 12.5mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lug. So if you're after something quite interesting for not a lot of money, this is definitely something to consider, so go check it out on the website today. Now on to another Duckworth, and this time it is the Centenary 24mm cream dial, which is absolutely gorgeous quartz watch. And as you can see, that dial is very cream, eggshell almost, and it gives off that almost like lacquered effect. If you have a look at the website photos, especially some of the macros, you can see what I mean. It's sunken into the subdial almost. Very attractive, very nicely done. And again, for the price, you cannot go wrong. Applied gold indices around the outside, or Roman numerals I should say, which have got that very, I want to say almost like comic book look to them. Very cool. Sub-seconds at 6 o'clock with gold hands as well. Very nicely done. You have a polished case, which is obviously in the tank style and shape, with a sign crown at 3 o'clock. As we flip it around, you can see the duck right there on the case back, limited to 500 pieces total. This is a reference D803-06, and powering this watch is actually a quartz Ronda caliber 1069 SM for small seconds. You have an original strap with its sign buckle, with an additional strap actually in the box if I'm not mistaken as well. And this is from May 2025, ready to go. So here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 24mm by 40mm lug to lug, only 7.5mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lug. So go check out this awesome watch on the website today. And last but by no means least, the most affordable watch actually on the table today, and it's titanium, and it's automatic, and it's awesome. For 250 quid, by the way. That is crazy. So let's take a look at this. This is the Boldr Venture automatic carbon black titanium in 38mm. You've got that really nice matte black dial with those very interesting syringe style hands with a red tip second hand, outer numerals with inner 24-hour numerals and an outer minute track. Very simple, very sporty, or field-like, I guess you'd say. And then you've got that titanium matte finish case. Nice angles on it and crown hidden away at 4 o'clock, which is screw down. So again, built incredibly well. It comes paired on its original black NATO strap with matching titanium hardware. And then you've got a nicely decorated screw down case back, which actually houses a automatic Seiko caliber NH35A. And this one's from September 2021 with its box and paperwork ready to go. As I say, titanium, automatic, screw down crown, super robust and reliable. Boldr are doing fantastic things for the money. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 38mm by 43.5mm lug to lug, only 11.5mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs. So endless options for this affordable gem. So go check it out on the website today. So there you have it, this week's drop. 14 incredible watches. As always, do let me know down in the comments, what's your favorite this week? I think for me, it's going to be a difficult toss-up between the Tudor and probably the Eterna. I think this Fisker thing is very, very cool and fun, and I doubt I'll ever have one again. So yeah, there's definitely some interesting things for you guys and girls this week. So as always, let me know what was your favorite. And as I say, next week there is a lot of vintage coming. By a lot, I think half of the drop might actually be vintage. So for those of you begging for more vintage, I promise you it's in the works, it's coming. It just takes longer than the modern watches. So I do apologize, but I'm always buying vintage and accidentally keeping a fair few. So thank you all very much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you all again next Saturday for more epic watches. Take care.